This is a test. We were just testing this. Too.
Stop it. Gordon will go into DJ voice. You watch it.
And now, back for more.
He was playing on last night, making sure it was working. That, and I go, if you do that DJ voice tomorrow. There you are. I can see us.
66, yeah.
All right, so we're back.
Good thing is nobody's caught up to us yet.
That's true. So we are back. We have our first live podcast, and our host for the day is the amazing St. Louis Car Museum. They're located here at 1575 Woodson Road here in Overland. And of course, if you haven't been here before, you are totally missing out. We're going to learn all about this great place. We're going to be interviewing John and Sarah, and I think the owner, Joe Jr., may be here and may come by and say hello to us. So the cool thing about this is doing a podcast. We're not at the radio station. We don't have commercials that are going to be stopping us every few minutes. We're going to be able to talk. We're going to have a good time. We are so fortunate to have the one and only Tim Glover with Clip Shack Productions. He's got video cameras and lights, and you'd think we were a big deal right now. It's like Kelley Ripa and what's his name?
Ryan Seacrest. I wish I looked like Ryan Seacrest.
We're live right now. You're much more handsome and taller.
Much more manly, too.
Yes, and taller. So he's got the cameras going. We've got the beautiful Maddi Manheimer. She is a professional photographer. We had some fun acting like we were making out in some of the older automobiles and taking some pictures. And this is going to be put into a huge video production that we're going to get to share on all of our podcast sites. So
that's right.
Right now, today, we're just on Facebook, but it is going to go up onto YouTube and
Spotify, along with Joe Rogan.
Yeah. We'll probably take his seat. Everybody will probably want to watch us over him, right?
That's true.
So do you know what's going on today?
Yes, we're at St. Louis Car Museum. We got all kinds of cool stuff, all kinds of cool topics to talk about. We got a lot of things. Valentine's Day's coming up.
Right.
The Super Bowl's
So what you're doing is acting like you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So just
because
like
this is
normal.
where Kelley throws me under the bus every time.
Yeah. So this is just like
Every
normal,
time.
like all the years on radio. I prepare and I put all this stuff together, and I
just show up.
And Gordon shows up and connects cables and does things like that, but has no idea what we're going to be talking about on the show.
But you wouldn't have a show without me connecting cables and all that stuff.
That's true. I'd probably have to go back to the radio station where someone can do it all for me.
See, you're the visual and the brains.
Oh, I liked how you put the brains in there.
I thought it better.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So another cool thing is we always ask a she said, he said question on Facebook. And when we do that, people give some great answers. So we asked people what their favorite dream car, if they could have their classic car, and some of them actually have their classic car in their favorite, and to put that post on. And then what we're doing is at the end of the show, in fact, in that cute little red go-kart kids old-fashioned classic fun car are all the names I printed all the names that people put answers on Facebook, and they're sitting inside the car. And so at the end of the show, we're going to pick 5 winners, and the Professional Bull Riding PBR is coming to St. Louis to the Enterprise Center. And so 5 people are going to win 2 tickets to be able to go see that show, which I wanted to go so badly, but we're going to be out of town and not be able to see it. But it is so cool to see them busting out of those gates and being on those bulls. What scares me the most is when they fall off or if they get stuck. That freaks me out. Or when the clowns they're trying to run from the bull and the bull's coming after them.
Yeah.
Getting gored. God, that's a disgusting thought, isn't it?
Could you imagine that?
No,
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about it.
Well, they're so safe now. They wear helmets and they wear like bulletproof flak vests.
I don't think there's anything safe when you're on a massive animal that is leaping into the air, twisting and turning, and your hand is tied into this rope. That doesn't sound...
And what's the rope attached to, Kelley?
Hey, Tim, I notice you have all these great lights on us, but they are doing horribly for my makeup. I am going to have to wear much more makeup for the production crew.
It's called tanning booth.
Or a tanning
There you
booth.
go.
Actually, spray tan would be better because tanning is not good, and I'm having the repercussions from that right now.
Didn't you guys miss us? All this useless information.
So the premise around the show, which is so cool, of course, it's brought to you by Clayton, Chesterfield, and St. Charles County City Lifestyles. And that is our magazines. And our magazines are all about our city. They are filled with incredible, outstanding, the best of the best advertisers, businesses that are out there. And those businesses in the magazine are supporters of the community. We write with incredible writers and editors and people that we have, and beautiful photographers like Maddi, who's here, and other photographers that we have. We create these gorgeous stories that talk about our city, people that are in them. Sometimes they're in other cities as well, and all the great things that they do. So we were able to write all of these stories and put all this great information about our city and cities because of the businesses that put themselves out there to support community. So it's quite incredible. So it's a full circle of what we do. So our magazines are very much about this. So our show is about in your city. We're going to be every single month going to a new location that we're going to be able to showcase and highlight on the show. And maybe there's someone that never heard of it before or haven't been there in a while or wants to see it, has talked about it, and we're going to have that opportunity to showcase it. So that's really cool, and win great prizes.
There's so many great things to see in the city of St. Louis that we don't even know about. I mean, so many great things.
And we've lived here all our life, and there's thousands, upon thousands of things that we've never been to before.
And with travel being the way it is, since it's opened up, it's been great. But I mean, people confine more to their cities and their hometowns, and it's like, take a vacation for a day or two, just in your own city.
Staycation.
Yeah, staycation.
Aren't you glad we don't have to wear a mask when we sound like this all the time on the show?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we've been around each other all the time anyway, so there's nothing we could spread.
Well, they're keeping pretty well 6 feet apart from us,
They're actually
aren't they?
12 feet apart, so we're pretty good.
The mandates are starting to loosen.
Yes.
So we're good to go. So you had mentioned fun things going on in the city, and we have the tickets that we're going to be, giving up, and we are going to be talking about this beautiful St. Louis Car Museum. Tim was so excited to be able to be here because he loves this place, and his friend Debbie works here, right?
Next
Debbie,
door.
did I say the right name?
Right next door to Tim.
Okay, so, and it's your neighbor. So he was glad to be able to, be here and come back and be able to see all the cars as well. So we're going to be talking to them, and they say that a classic car is an older car, which we know that. It's typically 25 years or older. That's what the definition says. But obviously, there's much more than to being 25 years or older, because there's some 25-year-older cars that are driving on the street that really should never be driven again.
So
and
I guess
they're not a collector item.
I guess I'm a classic.
You're like triple classic.
Wait a minute, I'm not 75
driven hard.
years old. Said 25 years or
kind of
best.
go a little bit too far on that. So we are going to talk about them. But this is what I want to ask you, because I don't know. I probably know because we're around each other a lot.
Okay.
Have you watched any of the
Olympics? I always get afraid when you want to ask me something.
I know. Are you watching any of the Olympics?
You know what? I tried to get on, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. I wasn't interested in it. And everybody's kind of boycotting it.
So you said, I'm just not going to do it. So
well,
what
you know what?
mean?
Here's the thing. Okay, let me backtrack.
I'm not watching it.
Watching television is a chore nowadays. You can't just turn on the TV and turn to channel 2 or turn to channel 4, turn to channel 5. I mean, you can if you use like YouTube or Charter. But
apps are exhausting.
Everything is streaming, and you have to download the app first. Then you download the app. Then you have to set up an account. Then you set up an account. And if there's something
He's
that you
venting
don't
right
have,
now.
then you have to, by the time you get everything set up, you're just like, I don't even want to watch it now.
I just never again.
Yeah.
No, I have a charge on my credit card for $64 from an app, and I have no idea how that happened.
I probably do.
You think Chance did it? Is watching a show? But yeah, every time you get on TV, you try to watch something, you have all these apps that you have to go through, and then you get all excited and you're just ready to watch this movie, and then you hit it, and it's like, that'll be $5.99 or $3.99, or maybe you're lucky and it's $1.99. There's shows that were on like 100 years ago. Would that be too long ago? Did I go a little too far back?
No, it is pretty far back.
And they want to charge you to watch it.
They want to charge you like $4 to watch a movie.
And then you're really mad.
That should be on Channel
really
11
bad.
at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
So back to the Olympics.
Okay.
I'm not watching the Olympics. I'm a little surprised where it's at.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
We shouldn't even be talking to them right now.
Poor planning on the Chinese.
A little bit mad at them. So get this. So the opening event drew almost 14 million television viewers. Sounds like a lot, right? It is a lot. I mean, it's a lot of people that have time. We know Brian and Debbie were one of them. They had it on.
Oh, yeah.
They do that stuff. And they have a
Formula
lot of
One
time
racing.
now, too.
Yes, they do.
It was 43% less than what it was, the years before and back all the way to 2018. So which had 23.8, which was the most viewers ever. 43, almost 50% less are watching it.
You know what? Did a lot of people talk about the Olympics? Because I forgot that they were even on, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, we don't care.
I know, but I forgot.
Should.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, our people going over there to
I didn't see
do their
anything
thing.
anywhere saying that today is the day for the,
for the Olympics.
for the Olympics, yeah.
I kind of did see it, but again, it's all those apps. Things get lost there.
Mr. Mark Sutherland just
Mr.
walked
Mark
in.
Sutherland. Hello,
What up,
chap.
chap?
Would you like some water? H2O?
So we talked about that last night.
Yeah, he's smashing.
Mark invited me out to Lit Cigar Bar. There's one of the places that a lot of people don't
There's
know about.
a pick in our city.
And we did a little poker and cigar.
How did you do?
Oh, I didn't do well at all.
No.
Mark did well. He got to go to the second table. If you make it to the second table, it's like coming from the kids' table to the parents' table. And then Mark was able to get to the parents' table. So,
Oh, we did.
yeah.
Did you get
But I
to the
got
grandparents' table after that? So that was it then. All right.
Yeah.
So did you feel manly doing that? Was that like women? What do they do? Play bunco or
Well,
something
don't say too
stupid
much
like
about
that?
Manly because there was a woman there playing.
Was
And
she
She
manly?
was really good.
That probably made you
No,
feel
she
even
wasn't
worse.
manly.
No, she wasn't manly.
No.
So what you're saying is she was hot.
Now you're putting me on the spot because if I say no, that's going to offend her, and if I say yes,
So
then
you
it's
think she's listening?
she was attractive? Yes.
Should your husband say that? Like you just put yourself in a ditch.
I said attractive, not hot. So
No,
if
attractive
I
could
say
mean
she's
you were
hot, then
attracted
I'm
to her.
Really in trouble.
Yeah.
No,
you
someone can
can't
be
win in that
attractive.
situation. If someone's wife or girlfriend or partner, whatever you call everything these days, you probably, when someone asks you if you thought they were hot or whatever, you should probably just say,
That's not
"Gosh,
necessarily true. If somebody's attractive,
she doesn't
mean,
look anything like you."
Doesn't mean you want to be with them. They're pleasant to look at. They're attractive.
You really should stop talking. You really just shouldn't even say
Shut up,
anything
Mark.
else the rest of the time right now. I think you should.
Okay, so here's Kelley. She's
I can
blaming
answer that.
Me. Kelley couldn't take her. So we're watching this new series. Remember
my
Jack
gosh.
Reacher? It's called Reacher. And, yeah, she's shaking her head.
Just
yes,
want to
dude.
reach for him, don't you, Maddie?
It's like he's chiseled in stone, and it's
his
like,
shirt's
come
off
on,
most
all
of the
time.
show.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
always changing.
I know your head never went from the TV to anywhere else.
Oh, you're supposed to watch the TV when you
Yeah,
watch
see?
TV.
Okay.
All of a sudden, Gordon got up at 4 in the morning, was working out.
I think I proved my point.
Are you working out more now?
I'm trying to, yeah.
Okay, so we talked about the
Motivation.
winter. We talked about the Winter Olympics, and obviously we haven't watched it. Any of you Is anyone raise a hand that's been watching it? Sarah, she's a good person.
Debbie Wood just chimed in and said, yes, we are watching.
We knew it.
We knew it.
We knew it. What else are you two doing? Driving around doing
We don't wanna know.
errands?
We
We
don't
don't want to know. So, Matt, are you watching it? Sometimes we got a sometimer. Thames? No, he's with us. Mark, any Winter Olympics? All right. So you two are lost out on this one. We beat you. More not watching the Olympics. Okay, now here's the next question. So you feel that way about the Olympics. You're not
Right.
really getting into it or whatever. Okay. Are you excited about the Super Bowl?
I'm excited about seeing the Rams lose. Absolutely. 100%.
And the crowd goes crazy. Okay, so now, but if they weren't playing, you'd still be watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's an event. It's
So is the Olympics.
yeah, but I love football. I love football. So
Oh my
it's
gosh,
just
I'm so
hard.
glad it's almost over. Monday night, Thursday
Monday night
night.
football, Thursday night football.
Then we turned it
Saturday
on. I go,
football.
what the heck is football doing on Friday night? It was like, where did that come from?
And then when the college playoffs happen, it's like every other day.
And Saturday is
Which is a
college. And then
wonderful thing.
Sunday, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it's a little much. Would you like to watch like the Miss America pageant or fashion shows every single day?
No.
Me neither,
Absolutely
actually. I wouldn't either. So they're on that one. So you are excited to do it. What is your prediction? I know you want the Rams to lose, but do you think they will?
33-17 Bengals.
33-17. So that means Bengals is going to win.
Yeah.
Bengals. What's a Bengal?
A tiger.
Oh, sounds better when you say tiger.
Aren't you glad I'm here?
Bengal. What a
That
weird.
would-
Who came up with Bengal?
That would have to do with the stripes on their helmets.
True. That's true. Those cats are probably offended. They're going to want to take those straps off.
Of a Bengal tiger?
Yes, now I have. It sounds better when you put the word tiger to it. But, you know, the Bengals. So they're going to be in SoFi Stadium in California. Now, is that where the Rams normally play? Is that their stadium, or is that where it's picked for the...
I believe they also share it with the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
So they play different times.
How do they choose a stadium for the game?
Well, this is the second time that a team that's in the Super Bowl is actually going to be playing at their home field. It was Tampa Bay last year, and now it's the Rams this year, which I think they're going to change that. And so this never happens again. They're going to play all the Super Bowls at Dallas Stadium.
Oh, what? Are you just making that up?
Mark's the only one that got that.
Oh, shoot.
Because Dallas isn't going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Oh, my gosh. I love Dallas. I wanted them to win. They were actually doing pretty good, weren't they? And then they kind of just fell out.
They kind of, big time, the last 4 or 5 games, they just kind of.
Who did you want to go to the Super Bowl?
Who did I want to go to the Super
Yes.
Bowl? Well, I'm a Packer fan, so, you know, I always kind of want to see the Packers.
Do you still have those stupid cheese heads?
You know what? No, I got rid of those a few years back.
Really?
Yeah.
It could have been kind of fun.
They are.
To wear those.
They were fun.
Did you sell them or give them away?
I think I sold them to somebody, on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace.
You should get like one of those trucks. You could be like Sanford and Son and drive out with all the stuff that's down our basement that you could get rid of. Every time he walks down there, he does that, I'm gonna start getting rid of this stuff.
I need to get rid of this, I need to get rid of that.
And then do you?
No.
So, okay. So you've got the Super Bowl coming up. You say the Bengals are going to win.
Yes, I do.
The Rams are going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, who do you think's going to win? Bengals. Maddi, are you a football fan? Just guess. Bengals. Because of Gordon.
I'm following the dudes.
Bengals? Oh, I think we just so deeply want the Rams to lose. We're just going to keep saying that name so that they will. You know, I think they'll pretty fired up, don't you? I think that they're going to come in there and haul booty there in the end so that they can win. What you doing over there? We got new buttons here. The sound
All
is
kinds
so
of
different.
Stuff. It is
the sound
different.
is different. So, you know,
we got the little Pod Track P4, which is really cool.
We
it's from
do.
Zoom.
It's really, I mean, it's kind of a cool process, and I'm really excited to see the production and then see that swirl around and then be able to pump that out to all the podcast sites. Will be really exciting, you know, to see that come into fruition.
Yes.
It's the first time.
For those of you that are joining late, I know we got a few of you that are joining late. We were at the St. Louis Car Museum right here in Overland, Missouri at 1575 Woodson Road. So if you feel like stopping by from the next hour, we'll be here for the next hour. Come on in, see some of the cool cars, because there's a lot of cool cars. I just noticed we had a jump and spike in some viewership. So I want to make sure they
Spike.
The spike.
Facebook may shut down from it, right? People were used to our, what were we, 9 o'clock, 9 to 11?
9 in the morning. Actually, it
nine?
was 8 to 11 first, and then we went 9 to 12.
I don't know.
I'm sorry,
it was somewhere in the morning time
9
or
to
whatever.
11,
and we had our movie review. Kathleen, she's usually
Kathleen Kaiser.
sitting right there. I make her yawn all the time. So, okay, so Valentine's Day is around the corner, which is exciting. So, do you...
You didn't talk about halftime show, did you?
Oh, shoot. Okay,
What do you
let's
think
go
about
back.
the halftime show?
I'm trying to figure it out. I haven't heard of Eminem. Eminem. It's not Eminem like you eat. It's Eminem. It's E-N-E-M.
E-M. It's not M-N-M.
It's N-E-M.
Here we go.
Eminem, right? Eminem?
I wish I recorded that.
See what I deal with on a daily basis? Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
This is what makes the show so great.
No.
Talking sports and music
okay,
with Kelley.
back to Eminem, okay? I haven't heard of him since the 8 Mile movie or whatever. We got Snoop Dogg, and I mean, he'll be high. And then Dr. Dre, I don't even know what I'm
sure SoFi Stadium should change its name to SoHi Stadium after that halftime show.
I mean, I don't even, I'm
like,
so
wow.
far out of touch with what's cool now because that wouldn't have been my pick whatsoever. Now, Mary Blige, she's very talented.
So these were basically when your daughter was young.
Are they at
Casey.
the game?
Well, no, but it's a halftime show. They're going to see it.
Isn't it people like us that go to those things and
It's everybody.
spend money?
They should have.
My daughter's not going to spend $1,000 to go to a football game.
We have some friends that have another radio show in the morning, and I was listening to their broadcast, and they were talking about that, and they were talking, well, who would make a great Super Bowl thing that would kind of, adhere to all the different age groups.
Right.
And has Bon Jovi and Journey done one yet? Does anybody know?
That would be cool.
Bon Jovi and Journey together would be a great.
Bon Jovi.
That would be a great halftime show.
Well, I think, though, that wouldn't be just all of it. I think that if they're going to have it, I think there should be a real mix.
And Joan Jett in the middle. That would be cool.
Like Barry Manilow's up there. Or not Barry Manilow, sorry. Wrong guy. Oh, who's the guy I like? Barry White.
He's not around anymore.
Oh, shoot, that'd
Kinda
be hard to
bring
get him.
back.
Okay, but what I'm getting at is there should be a real mix. Like there would be somebody in their 60s, 70s generation. And then, because, shoot, Mick Jagger's still singing. And then they would come down a bit and there'd be like generations and have them flow into one another and really give a mix. I don't feel like this is a mix at all. In fact, I think it's like pushing a certain age, an agenda, whatever it is. I think that they're not mixing it up. I think there needs to be a little of everything so that you really can get into the halftime. I'm anxious, I guess, to see what they do with this, but I don't think, I don't think they. I should have been in on the meeting. I should have had a say on it.
Should have been in on the meeting.
I think that they should call me for the next scheduling for Super Bowl halftime. Has any of you heard these people perform lately? Yes.
No, in fact, I didn't.
Sarah's with it. She says yes.
Mary J. Blige, yes. Kendrick Lamar, yes. He's probably one of the newer ones, but
I don't even know who Kendrick Lamar is. Do I?
If you heard his songs, yeah, you
Okay,
probably remember.
so I'm not really very good at that. So I say thumbs down. I think they didn't prepare correctly. I think there could have been a well-rounded mix. What's going to happen if anybody has a costume malfunction with this group? No one will care.
I'm just wondering if it's just going to be one giant bleep, because most of their songs are like got such derogatory lyrics in it. It's like it's got to be one giant beep.
It's gonna be beep.
That was great. It's like over.
Okay, enough of the boring halftime.
Yes.
Valentine's Day. We've got a
Just
few
around
more
the
minutes
corner.
here. It is around the corner.
For you guys out there that are listening, it is just Monday.
But should it be just you getting me stuff, or is it reciprocal? Do you each, or do you think one gets more than the other?
I think a guy and a girl are both Valentines.
Do you think that
I'm your
Valentine's Day
Valentine,
is
you're my
just about being a
Valentine.
couple? Because I usually get my mom chocolates or the kids chocolates, or I kind of feel like it's love all the way around.
It's whoever you love.
Buy a lot of chocolates.
Wait a
Tone it
minute.
down just a minute. Not that kind of love.
I was gonna say
Okay,
it's
so
like the Rodney Dangerfield thing. Yeah, me and my wife. I'll tell you what. After we have sex, we smoke cigarettes. He goes, I'm up to a pack a day. She's up to 10.
oh my God,
Get
where's
it?
the bleeper sound right now to like a womp womp womp?
So you're eating more chocolate than me. That's what I
Okay,
get.
so on Valentine's Day, do you think it's hard on people if they don't have a Valentine?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure those are lonely times like Christmas, Valentine's Day.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I have got something for those people that feel
Those people.
Yeah. For
You're
those
in a category now.
Yeah, for those people that feel lonely on Valentine's Day, guess what's happening?
What's happening?
A brand new app, one more app. You don't need to add this to your phone, neither do I.
Okay.
Maddie, are you in a relationship? Okay. Sarah, are you married or in a relationship? Okay, you can't use this then. Won't work. Maddie, this is for you. All right, so if you're looking for that loved one, Valentine's Day, it launches. It's called Sparksy. And I don't know if I said it wrong. It could be pronounced Sparks.
I'm sure it is. Sparks.
Well,
Sparksy?
It,
It's Sparks.
okay, I'll give you the spelling. Sparkze. That is how you spell it, all right? It launches Valentine's Day. Now, you know how we've all been single at one point. Mark, I don't know, you got married pretty young. Have you ever used a dating app? Okay. Sarah, did you use a dating app? Oh, you haven't either. You're young. Have you used a dating app? Okay. Gordon was like a
Here we go.
homemonger on dating
we go.
apps. Oh my God. It was like, oh, there's just women everywhere. I need to be on every site. And I think there's a trickle of my hair. We were just dating at the time. We weren't quite. I thought we were married, but he was mixed up. So back to the dating site. So if you've used a dating site, it's kind of like the swipe thing, where you swipe and you accidentally heart someone you shouldn't have, or whatever it is, and they have the sites. I guess they're kind of considered hookup sites.
Just
or
keep
whatever,
swiping so fast, and you go, oh no!
Oh God,
no.
I missed that one.
Can't take it back.
Well, they're kind of boring. And really and truly, if you've ever dated before or you've been on a dating app and then you meet the person, I don't know about you all, but the sound of their voice is like, that's a ringer for me there. It's like you see them, they look really hot and they go, hi. Sound like Mickey Mouse. It's like all over. So you really don't know. Well, these new dating apps are more virtual so that you can actually see them in movement, not just a picture that they could have photoshopped, because you see the picture and then you meet them and they were in the background and you're on a date with the person that was not in the front of the picture, that kind of stuff. So these dating apps are actual moving, virtual, and it's a game, a dating game. So you're actually playing a game with this. So the founder, who is Greg Nimmer, he'll walk you through how it works virtually when you get on there, and you're going to be in a whole new experience of a game. And he said that society is connected. We are also the loneliest. He says 70% of digital natives express feeling of loneliness. Do you know that 1 in 5 Gen Z is without a single friend? That's heartbreaking.
That is.
So with these apps, you're going to get on there and be able to actually virtually make a friendship with people with voice and playing games with them. And we know how much, especially younger generation, loves playing games. So I think it's really cool.
Truth or dare?
Try no. What would you do? You're on an app.
I know.
I don't want to be part of that. I wonder what that could be. We shouldn't do it.
Do a fake profile?
Yeah. We'll put Maddie's picture. She won't get in trouble.
That's true.
So, Maddie, we're going to set you up for the next show. We're going to find out if you've tried it and how it works. So it launches February 14th on Valentine's Day. So there you go. So the rest of you who are in a relationship, you are not allowed to get on this whatsoever. This is not for you. But we're going to check back with Maddie, and we're going to see how it works, and she's going to give us a play-by-play on that, all right? Okay, so now the best part of the show is why and where we're at right now. And we are at the St. Louis Car Museum. It's over here in Overland. Mark, are you leaving us? You're going to come over and say hello and wave in the video?
Come behind us, say hi to
Can't.
everybody.
You can't just walk in here like that and not
Want to say hi to Vicky and Crystal and Abby Stahlschmidt and Debbie Wood, some of them that are watching the show. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being a part of the show today.
I'm not very good. And Chris, did you say Crystal?
Yep.
Well, hello.
Oh, today's National Singles Day. So it doesn't appeal to any of us, does
celebrate.
it?
Yeah.
You don't celebrate. That's probably a good thing that you don't celebrate. We'll let John over here. He's getting all situated.
I know.
So did you win money last night?
No, I came in 6th. The top 3 win.
Okay,
It was quite fun. Best I've done. So I knocked these guys out pretty quick, and it made my odds go up.
Gordon smelled like a big cigar when he walked in the door. Is that?
It was a fun evening. Good bunch of guys. Great.
You forgot there was one woman, and she was
love,
attractive apparently.
I love this cigar bar. Mark there's a brilliant bartender, and the owner's really nice, and they got a nice little place there.
Don't you wish you talked like that? John, you're brilliant. Would you like that? Like to have that voice like that? Sure. The women swoon over that. Is that why Amy married you?
No, actually.
It was for your money.
Doesn't care for it? No. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why. But I definitely married up for sure.
Married up. Well, I'm so glad that you came by.
Yeah, great to see you
You're
guys.
awesome.
Enjoying the
Give me
show.
a hug. Yeah.
Lovely cars here.
Isn't this
I'm
amazing?
salivating over the sold Rolls Royce over there.
The sold. Aren't you
Yeah.
glad it was sold because you were going to buy it?
Well, I was thinking they put it there for me in anticipation, but apparently not.
Go look at the one at the end of the row
Yeah, that's quite incredible.
on the black tile.
It's brilliant.
Oh, is that one still for sale?
It's not even been listed yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out all
We're gonna
about
find
this
out
right
all about
now.
it.
I need
So,
to run out of here before I spend some money. Good to see you guys.
Mark,
Bye.
always a pleasure, buddy. Thank
Mark
you.
Sutherland. All right, so we are now going to kind of get into the meat and potatoes here of St. Louis Car Museum, which is in our city, and we're focusing on that today. We're gonna soon we're gonna meet Sarah Boothby, who is the marketing manager, and right now we're the general manager, John Faust. Did I Faust or Faust?
Faust, yeah, you
Faust.
got it
Okay,
right.
great. So thank you so much for spending some time with us and kind of help us understand a little bit more about what's going on here. You walk in and you're just like enamored and in awe of all of these different automobiles, and I don't know if there's 2 of anything in here, is there?
There might be a couple duplicates, but that's
But they look different.
Yeah, when you walk in, it's all done intentionally to kind of take you back in time and show you that the auto industry's come a long way. So we've come from vintage vehicles all the way through, modern day 2021 Corvettes that we've had through here. So
We're walking around. Gordon goes, "This used to be a bowling alley."
this is true. Yeah, Joe Scott, who was the proprietor of this organization, has always been a huge car advocate and car collector. So the museum, when he found it, was actually it was a vacated. It was called Bowlerama. It was a vacated bowling alley that
Okay.
had already been gutted of all of its equipment, but the building itself, having no pillars in here, as you can see, makes it an ideal way to obviously move and
Yeah, to be
motivate
able
and
to move
park
cars
vehicles.
around.
Yep. It was also climate controlled, so he liked the idea that he wasn't going to have to renovate a building to make it air conditioned all summer and heated all winter. So it's since transformed since 1994 into now 27 years later into quite a mecca of all things cars and automobilia and petroliana and toys and neons and
Was
gas
he a
pumps.
big
So
car buff and had a lot of cars at his home and said, "Hey, I need a place to put these," or did he have some sort of idea of where he wanted it to go?
I think that was the motivation. I think not just him, but one of the biggest problems I think a lot of car collectors have is space. And
Right.
so, particularly in this area of town, us being so close to like U City and Ladue and Clayton, a lot of the homes that existed here, if they even had a single garage, was pretty rare. I know
True.
that's changed a little bit with some of the renovation in our area, but the collectors, as soon as you had two cars, typically you were looking for a place to store one, and so some of that motivation came from his friends and fellow collectors that they're, if they could find a spot they could all utilize and then essentially make it a museum for people to come and see and witness. I think the brainchild was good. Unfortunately, the financial side of it takes a lot of money to have a facility this big. I mean,
Right.
the room we're in right now is I think it's pushing 65,000 square feet in this room alone. And then we've since added to the rear, a much needed service department. Because as we grew, the necessity for a much bigger and more favorable service department came about. So, like I said, for this to work and then bring people through the door, I think he found to be a bit of a challenge. So, our lobby that's now a great showcase for pedal cars, it actually used to be a gift shop. So they sold a great deal of books. Books were great big. So literature, Route 66.
When people used to read?
People used to, well, I'm sure most of them were full of pictures of cars, but fun page flippers. And then Amazon came about and kind of put that business to rest. And same with the die-cast cars and trinket stuff that used to sell through the gift shop that all got eaten up by eBay. So again, transition. And I came on board almost 16 years ago, really with the assistance of we had some other management here at the time, and he kind of had to get pretty savvy with the internet and just kind of get with the times. So the sales portion of our organization really took off as far as the vintage car sales and acquisition and consignment, and that's actually been where my passion has kind of come into play. I enjoy researching and finding the cars and buying
Are you a
them.
car buff from way back?
Oh yeah.
Just
I mean, from building.
Sarah's a car buff.
Yep. And so from building model cars as a kid,
So what was your
Remember
first
that?
car?
my first one, or what I wanted my first one to be would be a better
Yeah.
question.
Okay, give me your first one and what you wanted your first one
All
to be.
right. So I ended up buying a Ford Escort GT. It was a 1988.
I don't know if we should fist pump or not, but I had one too.
Awesome. So what I wanted was a Ford Mustang GT, but it seems like the era that preceded me and kind of killed the insurance rates for all of us young 16-year-old male drivers. So I couldn't even afford the insurance for a V8. So settled for the little four-cylinder.
Are you still able to get dates?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That was, if I was
It
as
wasn't
charming as
Wow.
Gordon. Yeah. Nice. No, so it was, So I grew. Obviously this environment here has satisfied so many like car fantasies that I could
bet.
even dream about. So, as an opportunity to go buy Ferraris and not necessarily owning one, but buying it for the museum and the opportunity to drive. Just some of the stuff you always want to drive. Vintage Jaguars.
So if you could drive out of here with one of these cars,
would it
which
be?
one would it be?
I'm a big fan of that GT3 Porsche over there in the corner, but vintage wise, I'm a big air cooled guy now, so I own an old Volkswagen bus and an old Porsche 356 coupe in the corner. So those are my go-tos
Those are
on
really
the summer.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are fun to drive.
So I know you said it quickly when you came in. When this place has developed into a place where you sell cars, you consign other people's cars as well.
Sometimes our main mission, really, because of the service department that we have, and not to sound really pretentious or anything, but we really do have a quality standard that we try to uphold here.
And that was going to be a question, like what makes the criteria?
It's the cleanest service department, I think.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful back there.
So a lot of the cars that get presented to us probably don't necessarily, for instance, if the paint needs to be done, that's one thing we don't do here is paint work and chrome. So the stuff that we have to outsource gets a little expensive and time consuming. Particularly paint work. If you got to send a car out to a paint shop, I mean, if you're promised 3 months, you might see it in 6. It's kind of one of those deals. So we like to find high quality cars and then focus mostly on the mechanical side for safety and mostly safety, but the creature comforts too. If we get a car with air conditioning, we want to make sure a vintage car with air conditioning actually blows cold air. And then the cosmetics too, like we have an upholstery shop on site, so we can do tops and interiors and seat upholstery. So those great ways to create better quality is really what we're after. So consignment doesn't always match that criteria.
Sure, right. So more of the sales then that you're interested in, finding the right car.
Buying, yeah. So we would prefer to buy, and that way we can make the discretion at what we want to spend our dollars on to improve that car to get it to the level we hope to sell it at. And convincing a consignor, I guess the only way I could probably compare that is like if you're selling your home and a real estate agent would come in and say, some fresh paint on the walls and some new carpet would go a long way.
Right.
Well, that all comes at a cost, and not everybody wants to spend that, to sell their home. It's the same with cars, that we may say, let's spend several $1,000s and get it to this level, a little top notch. And some people just say, nah, I'd rather sell it. And that's a benefit to me. Well, that way we can buy it and take those improvements a step above.
So I have a question. So there's a criteria that makes a car that's desirable, that is that someone is going to spend a lot of money on, to have this older car that's 25 or more years, making it a collectible. But it doesn't necessarily have to be in perfect condition to be considered a collectible, and then you take that car and refurbish it, and then it ends up being worth a lot of money? Or does it have to be in pristine condition already to be worth a lot of money and not really have to be fixed up?
It's a very good question, but really loaded too.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. So like some collectors only want all original cars.
Okay.
And that's
right.
That's their footprint of their whole collection. So when they get repainted, they're already out. So there's a balance there.
Okay.
So you kind of have to use careful discretion. If a car's, to me, if it's worthy of selling as an original car, you're going to try and celebrate that fact that it's still original and it survives over time that way. But there's always a time too when you're looking at a car and you go, it definitely needs to be painted. Like, it's time to paint that car. So I'm a shiny sales kind of guy. I like them restored.
I like everything shiny.
Yeah. So I like fresh leather interiors and new paint and fresh chrome and all that good stuff. So being a loaded question, it's hard to answer because some people can't afford pristine.
Okay.
And they're completely fine with a mid-grade, partly survived, partly restored driver. And that's me. I drive the cars that we have, and I think that's kind of where I'd say probably most people want to be. They just want something that's going to get them to the show, show well and get them home at the same time, and it doesn't need to be on a trailer. I think that's where most people probably fall.
I always have a great time when I come into a place like this and I see cars that were in either movies or TV shows.
Oh, yeah.
So when you first walk in the door, the first thing I see is the Sunbeam Tiger, which was in, now I forgot his name, Get Smart.
Get Smart, yeah.
Get Smart.
Oh, he did. He was talking about that actually when we came in.
Well, it's the same principal car, just but it was he had a Sunbeam Alpine.
Ah, see?
Yeah. So
this is why you do this.
Yes. So he drove around in an Alpine, but the Sunbeam Tiger actually was Roots Group, who owns Sunbeam. They asked Carroll Shelby, who you guys know for Shelby Mustangs and such, and the Ford versus Ferrari movie Shelby made quite popular.
That's a good movie.
It's a great movie. So anyway, Sunbeam asked him. They sent him an Alpine and said, "What could you do to help us sell more of our British cars to U.S. buyers?" And of course, Shelby's answer to that was put a V8 in it. And so he
answered everything.
Yeah,
put a V8 in it.
Put a
Every time.
wedge in some American V8 power. So So that was they pounded the fenders out and wedged in a 260 V8, and off came the Tiger. So that's why that car's kind of a unique piece.
Yeah, it's
now.
really cool.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot of the cars, because of course, I don't know anything about it. I just want it to be shiny and pretty.
Yeah.
And then if it's expensive, I probably want to drive it or something like that. So, but I noticed that the top cars that sold the most at auctions are all your foreign cars. They seem to be the top 5, the top 10 of everything. I mean, it's crazy. $48 million for a 1962 Ferrari GTO.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, and you must have found some outdated numbers.
I probably did because that would be my researching.
What did you find? 52.
Well, it's Google.
Well,
we know how that is.
We know they're not always right.
So yours says 48. A very similar car,
Okay.
a 62 Ferrari GTO, again limited production. One had sold for $70 million just a couple of years later,
my
and it was a
gosh.
private sale. It didn't even sell through auction.
What is the most expensive car you've ever had in here?
The most expensive we had was a 1935 Mercedes. It was a 540K. It's a neat roadster body, so it was called a special roadster. It came out of, if you guys remember, down in the valley there was the Kemp Auto Museum for a little while. When that facility closed, Fred Kemp had a assorted collection, but some of them had liquidated privately. But that one was offered to us on consignment, and it was listed for $2 million here. So
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I'd be afraid to go near it, especially drive it. I'd be the one that would, bump into something like he did with my car on the way here. Oh, it was just a curb, he said. I'm like, okay, well, it makes it better than it wasn't a car that we backed into, right?
You probably shouldn't bring up cars.
I probably, drive. Well, no, I'm the worst. That's what I mean. I would be
I
the
take
one.
my car to the service department one time, and he goes,
It's
you
not
got
about you right now.
You got a little bit of scuff on your rims right here. Did you hit a concrete thing or something? I'm like, I never had a scuff on my rims.
Starbucks stripes. Yeah.
I figured he would. It was pulling in actually to the gym, and I'm like, well, he gets it on the right side. He'll never see it on the. I mean, he gets it on the left side. He'll never see the right side, right? I forgot to tell him, but I did tell him when he said.
she just smiled.
By any chance, did you? Okay, now the most expensive. So tell me if I'm wrong and outdated on my research again.
Oh, maybe.
It said the most expensive because I was like, what about the American cars? Okay, most expensive American car ever was the first Shelby Cobra chassis. Is that how you say it?
It may have been a Cobra. Where are you looking?
Right here, my notes. A CSX 2000,
Yeah, that's a
13.75
Cobra.
million.
Yeah, CSX is that's another Carroll Shelby reference. So
Okay.
that's a.
So I did okay on
You
that.
did okay. Yeah, that's a Shelby Cobra. It was very likely a Super Snake, which was a built 427 side oiler that was. I think he made 2. So when they come up for auction, they're.
I think I noticed Sarah might not be a fan of Tesla. Is that right? She said something. What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about cordless. She said, well, we don't want to talk about Tesla being cordless. So how do you feel about the electric cars and things like that? Is that something that does that take the excitement out of an automobile when it's a battery?
No, not
Oh,
really.
that cute little battery
I guess
car back there is
if you've ever driven a Tesla, I think the appeal of a Tesla
They're
is fun. Yeah, they're fun. They're fast. They're
My
also
daughter has
quirky
one.
because they're complete computers, really.
Yeah.
And so I guess the few times that we've had experience with them, they could. Just like your computer might have a little glitch and you got to restart this or reset
We're minus
that.
a truck right now because they've decided to turn everything electric. And so if something goes wrong on it, your car's sitting in the middle of the road and won't do anything, just like your computer does sometimes. So I just want to start it with a key and drive it. And there's brakes and a gear shift. I did actually, for the first time in 35 years, I just rolled down a window down there in one of the cars. When's the last time you rolled down a window? Remember that?
I always liked the little side windows too that would angle out the little angle side windows.
That was your air conditioning in a lot of
Yeah.
cars. That was your
Oh
vent.
my gosh, to open all four, keep it cool
turn
while
them,
you're driving.
backwards and grab all that air. Yeah. That's what I got my cars. Yeah.
So your dream car is what?
If I could have an entire collection of Porsche, that would be
Porsche?
Yeah. I'm a
What's
big
your
fan.
dream car, Gordon?
Well, I don't know if it's a dream car. It's just a car I've
My
always
personal
wanted.
favorite.
Was a 70 Camaro split bumper 70 Camaro. I just love the body style, just like the way it looks when it's coming down the road with that split bumper, which they got rid of the next year. But
Yeah.
Do
Good
you-
taste. Excellent. I like that. Yeah.
So with the way things are now and all the computerized and electric cars and things coming out, do you think what will be considered a classic 25, 50 years from now if everything, because I mean, this is fine jewelry. I mean, this is incredible. I don't know how anything could be considered. I wish I would have known that, the cars back then. I would have kept a few in the driveway.
Oh my gosh. We had probably $4 or $5 million worth of cars in my neighborhood. We had a Super Sport Chevelle right next door to me, a 442 Hurst Olds, white and gold, a Super Bird, a Super Bee, a Roadrunner.
Wow, your subdivision had it going on.
Yeah, and a Shelby Mustang back, and that was in
And what did you have?
70. Well, I was like 12 when these were in my neighborhood. But if you could have had them, and you could have bought them for what, $2 or $3 grand, $4 grand, $5 grand, something like that.
Several hundred. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So what turned that into a dream car? What made a car that it was just a car turn into a dream car? What does that?
Well, I guess if you look at, like, we've had this discussion around here a lot, like what do we want to fill this place up with? Because as we sell inventory, we got to replace it. So what are people buying, right? And it's clearly you're a car guy, Gordon. You rambled off a bunch of muscle cars that are going to be
the manly part of them.
Well, those will be hugely popular. I think American muscle, American sports cars will always have their place. The Corvette, the Mustangs and the Camaros.
Older though, not the new ones coming out, right? Or do you think
not necessarily? So there are like the Hellcats today and the ZL1s and all that stuff. They'll have their place. They will, and I think partly because they're still, by modern production standards, they're built with limited quantities. So.
John, I'm trying to figure out what I need to buy now that I'm going to be rich in like 30 years. So.
Well,
I think that time's passed, probably.
Oh, shoot.
Well, even there are some cars that are being sold on the market right now that, believe it or not, in one right here to our right, this like 2021 Corvette, that they were built in such limited quantities that people were literally paying so far over sticker that people were treating them like collectibles before they even hit showrooms. So
Corvette's a great topic too. Let me ask you this, because I had a C5 Corvette, and they change the models, the style of the body styles almost every 4 or 5 years.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
And so most of them, is it decreasing their value? Is it something to where I'm going to buy this one and then in 4 or 5 years they're coming out with a new model and then that one's not going to be? I mean, Corvettes do hold their value pretty well. I mean, even a C5 is going for 23, 25 if you look at them.
Sure.
But I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think about the changing of the body styles every 4 or 5 years with Corvettes? Do you think?
Does that appeal to you? This
Oh, I
2021?
love it, yeah.
Okay. Because see, there's the whole facet now in the Corvette world where like the front engine classic American V8 muscle that we had,
That's
front
what I
engine,
like.
rear engine, or front engine, rear drive. That's it. And so there's some guys that are Corvette buyers that they won't touch that one because that's a mid-engine.
I don't like the shorter front.
Okay.
I like the long front.
So there's
I think
that.
That's what made a Corvette.
So
the C5 was the last of the long front.
Yes. So
C6 it
transitionally,
shortened up. Yeah.
Some people just buy what they like. But some of the downsides to most of the sports car manufacturers, or even the muscle car manufacturers for that matter, is like for every year the horsepower goes up just enough to bring you back to the showroom to buy the new model, right? Or they'll add just enough style or just enough options to get you to want to trade that old one.
Kind of like my
back in.
phone.
Yeah, exactly. Just
It's a
like your
lot cheaper,
iPhone, yes. So sometimes that's enough, and so you gotta. So that's they'll always be collectibles. But to further that question, most cars built today, the ho hum toasters going down the street. Not to name names, but most of them look the same.
They do.
You can't tell one from the other.
That's what they're doing now.
So all they're changing is taillights and headlights, but everything basically is going to be probably what the interior looks like. So it's what you surround yourself with. But all those cars, everything right now is completely recyclable. Nobody's going to
Look at the 3 we're facing right now. I mean, just look at the chrome.
Yeah,
Look at the
incredible.
That's what
noses.
you're buying right there. Style.
Yeah.
Tell them what we're looking at because they can't see it. So what are we looking at right now?
Well, this is a 1948 Chrysler Town and Country convertible.
Which
I
we
love
sat
That's
in.
the one on the left.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Yeah, that's a real wood body, power top, straight 8 engine. It's got a fluid drive transmission, which most people won't know what that is, but that's basically a dual range semi-automatic transmission. So before you guys could even buy an automatic, which today is about all that's offered.
Right.
So kind of getting into the collectability again, you'll find a lot of cars are people salivate now because you can get in and shift it. And got a clutch, and you got to be real kind of connected, and that visceral experience of actually driving your car. So getting in most of these is going to be that sensation. Like you turn that key, you let the engine warm up, and then you have to turn your e-brake off and watch your temperature gauge. It's just fun. I mean, they sound different, they smell different, they feel different. So in the middle here is that's a 1969 Mercedes-Benz. That's a 280. That's a SE Cabriolet. and then next to that is a 1954 Rolls Royce.
That's like what you see in the movies when they pull up.
That's the one that Mark was here that seemed to have a real fascination with. But that's a Silver Wraith. That's a inline 6-cylinder engine, heavily customized.
That has a sold sign on it.
Yes, that one's going to a very eclectic collection up in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Wow. So you're all over the United States and internationally as well?
As far as
Dealing
how we
with
advertise,
sales and
yeah.
and
In
people
fact,
that you work with.
Yep, we sold the Bentley behind us. This one's got a pending sale. That's going to Taiwan.
Oh wow!
What else I got? You can't see, but further ones down, I got a couple of cars on their way to Canada.
So what do you want to say before we talk to Sarah and find
Yeah.
out some fun things that are going on here? What is the experience? What is it that you do here? What do you want to tell people? What is this about? What are you going to experience by coming here and have to offer to the public and internationally, nationally and internationally?
Well, I mean, my main role in facilitation here as a general manager is just keeping inventory flowing. So we always want something new for people to see. So for a lot of St. Louisans, unfortunately, I hear more often than I'd like is, I never heard about you guys. And it's like, so we don't advertise a lot locally. So most of our marketing campaigns are going to be, kind of directed at guys buying or selling cars. So
Okay.
For the rest of the St. Louis, though, this is a keen opportunity to say, just come by, visit, just take it all in, see some classic cars, see some, great exotics and signage and pedal cars, and we've got vintage toys on display. That, if anything, for the younger generations, it might plant a seed that this is something that they might want to, indulge in when they get a little older. So maybe it'll be a little inspirational for them, even if they want to, restore one someday. I mean, this would be a great place to start to see.
Elise loves older cars, doesn't she?
Yeah,
And she's
she-
only 20. She's 25,
Right.
And she's very much into engines and older cars. And she loves. In fact, she just bought a Jeep, but it's a manual.
Manual transmission.
Yeah, which that's what
Hey.
she wanted. Whereas most people, oh my gosh, I'm the person at the top of the hill going, oh gosh, I've got to stop.
I roll back into the guy behind me.
It's so terrifying to me to drive a manual. Do you drive a manual or
Love it.
automatic?
Yeah. Oh no. Well, my daily driver's an automatic because, as I said, most cars are going to be automatic. But
It's your
no.
fun car that you-
my
that's
both,
automatic.
My fun cars are manuals. Yeah.
Well, John, it's been a pleasure. Thank you
Oh,
for
hey,
all the
this has been-
information. This
this
is
has been-
John Faust, and he is the general manager here at the St. Louis Car Museum and Sales. So we really appreciate it, and
Thanks so
I've
much.
learned a lot too. So
Yeah.
I'm
We enjoyed
ready
having you guys here.
to have
This
one
has
of
been
these.
fun.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much. All right, so sitting next to us now is the beautiful Sarah Boothby. She's the person who does all the fun things so that John can do his job and make sure these cars are selling and coming in and doing what they do. Sarah is the one who is getting people to know that this place is here for us St. Louis, because this is in your city. Poor thing. Here you go. Does that help?
That's a lot better.
So Gordon's job. So since this is, of course, our first podcast,
First one.
we realized we need longer cords. We need a headset that doesn't have pink, so that when John wears them, he isn't wearing pink
Not very
headphones.
much in pink either.
Sorry, John.
So, but they look so pretty on you. So, we're getting the hang of things here with the equipment but thank you so much. And you are a part, they actually are showcased in Clayton City Lifestyle Magazine, which we love. And it's fun. And Tim took one of your cars, what is the name of the car that you had fun making a picture with us? Do you say Jaguar?
Excalibur.
Excalibur. I was going to say, that didn't sound right. Jaguar. And that sold yesterday.
Going to Canada.
Wow, you have to get us a new car to ride in now. That one's gone to Canada. So tell us a little bit about, for the public that's locally here, that's in our city and wants to experience. Tell us a little bit about what you do for us that can't afford maybe one of these cars, or we can afford it and we want to find out more how to be a part of it.
Yeah, there's car enthusiasts all over the world, and especially here in St. Louis. It's a huge Route 66 hub, and that's kind of what I'm tearing off every single day when I walk in. I just really want to speak to those enthusiasts and get them in the door here. Like you said, if you can't afford a car, you have places like this where you can just come and reminisce and kind of go back in time for a little while. So you can hang out here on the showroom floor, maybe cruise back into our shop and get that, the smells in of the exhaust and just seeing the guys work and bringing beauty back. It's history that they're bringing back and putting on the showroom floor here. And then John.
We can't test drive though, right?
You can if you put a deposit down with John.
How big?
Yeah, we're gonna need.
Got
some
$1.
Maybe
Actually, I just have a debit card. I don't even have $1.
you can test drive this guy right here for the dollar.
If I could fit in that car, I would have been riding that around here. I just want you to know that and that Beetle Bug back there
The
is.
Volkswagen bus.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That's John's. That's Jan's.
Oh,
yeah.
we are best friends now, John.
What is it about Volkswagens? They all have that smell, and I think it's the seats, but it's just got that smell. My
Don't just
mom had
visualize
one. Yeah.
Parking at the beach right now in that. My daughter Carly would probably love to have something like that. That was like her dream, was one of those. And I wanted my first car, which I never did. I ended up getting a Camaro, but
Good for you.
But I really did want a Beetle Bug.
Yeah,
but it's not
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And this is how good. And I wanted it yellow with a daisy on it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they came that way. But we also just
that was my dream car when I was 12.
We just let go of. Well, we just sold a turquoise Beetle that you would have loved. 63, is that right? 61. It was
Maybe I'll still
beautiful.
have
I mean,
one
the
one day.
color was fantastic to shoot. It was a lot of fun. I like the
there is a
brighter
smell.
cars.
There's a smell.
There's a
when
certain smell with Volkswagens.
when you get him. Gordon could barely get in the steering wheel. He's like, I can't get my leg
Get my leg under the steering wheel of the
Steering
Thunderbird.
wheels
The
are
Thunderbird is
huge.
not made for tall people.
You just got to
Those
kind of
steering
swing
wheels are huge.
your leg around to get in there. So now, do you have events here once in a while, or can you have you don't have this where people have events here where they have their own event?
We do not rent it out. We do not really do private events unless it's at the request of the owner for, entertaining a friend. We have
Invite us when you do.
Yes, I will. I'll include you guys because we have hosted SSM Health. Did I say that right? Health. Yeah, we did a
Healthcare?
charity event for them, and it was pretty out of the blue, but it's fun to put together. And then
Right.
we'll have auction events whenever there's a big auction going on. We just did a cocktail hour, so cars and cocktails. But our big main event is an annual car show that we kickstarted about 3 years ago. So we just hosted one in August of last year, and the year before that it was in July. July was a little too hot with the blacktop out there, so
Oh,
we
yeah.
moved it to August, which was a little bit better. We just let the public, local car clubs, which there are so many out here, and all the local enthusiasts with private collections, fill up our parking lot, wrap all the way around. People can just cool off in here and then go back outside. So it's kind of like a two-parter car show.
And when
One
will you have
inside,
that
one
again?
outside. I'm thinking August again. I really liked the feel
Like
of
that.
that. It wasn't so hot. July was it's just too much. So you just got to really let the community know that, hey, this is the date that we're going to go with, but you don't want to step on toes and have a competing show because St. Louis is a really big car enthusiast hub. So you just kind of
Is
just
it?
don't. Yeah, it is.
See, and I didn't know
There's a
that.
lot of car shows out
Lot of
here.
car
but
shows.
You just got to do your research, and we'll pick a date around August just to make sure that we aren't competing with another big show, just to have respect for everyone. But
What is Carl's car that he just bought?
71
And he had painted,
a Mach
John,
1,
so he had to paint
71
it.
Mach 1 Mustang.
nice.
Yeah.
He likes
red,
to-
red with the black.
Tinker and fix them back
Yeah.
out, and he just went and had it painted. And
beautiful.
my mom, they drive around with their little,
Yeah.
He'll
I call
buy a
them the
car, fix it up,
Costanzas.
sell it, buy a car, fix it up, sell
Yeah,
it.
it's
It's
kind
just
of
his
his
little
little-
tinker fun
little-
thing
That
to do.
sounds fun. If I knew how to work on cars, I would be doing the same thing. Just
which
in my
would-
off time.
See, that's what I love about the old cars. Not only the sound, but the smell of the gas and the
Yes.
smell of the oil. You can just smell
My
it.
partner
It's
tells
like-
me every day almost, you smell like exhaust. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll go shower. She's like, no, I love it.
My daughter likes the smell of gas as well. I like when a boat starts up. That's a great smell too. It's kind of like an old smell of a car, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you hear that. So what's a car? And I probably should have asked John, and he can yell out or whatever. What car has probably like the loudest engine?
John,
Because he lived down the street from me in my last house.
I gotta
Remember that
say
car?
that the GT500 that he pulled out yesterday was
Super rumbling?
insanely loud. Yes, it was fantastic.
Kind of like a heart. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was
Not if they
fantastic.
live next door to you, okay?
They do. They sound like a big boat.
Well, it's on our Facebook, so if anybody wants to hear the rumble
Right.
of that 67, then she's up there right now. Of John pulling it out yesterday before it went to its new garage.
Wow. All right.
You can make anything loud.
It just depends on what okay, got it. Whatever you're putting inside of it there. All right, so your event you're going to have is probably going to be coming up in August.
But I do want to mention as well, I'm
Yes.
sorry to cut off, I
No,
didn't
that's-
mention that we do coordination with private car clubs as well. So just for example, Ford Unlimited, the Ford's Unlimited Car Club here in St. Louis, they just booked us for, I think it was September, that they're all cruising in together. We're just hosting them it's in the morning. They all cruise in, park up in the front. They kind of get exclusive inclusive feel. We get them posted on our social media accounts, give them a blast so they can get more members. And the guys just tour and hang out for a good hour, and they just cruise around St. Louis and go get lunch, and we're just one of the stops on their tours. So we do that for the Horses Carriage Club. We do that for the Looking Glass Corvette Club out of Illinois. And we're also doing it for the Rolls-Royce Car Club of St. Louis as well this year.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
if you're part of a car club and you just want to have a cruising date, then it's completely complimentary.
Get a hold
and
of
we're
you?
just- Yeah, you get a hold
Okay.
of me, and it's
All
just
right.
complimentary.
And if someone's interested in buying or possibly selling, want to find out if they meet your criteria, John, that's going to be
Yeah.
who they're going to want to get a hold of
Definitely.
and be able to sit down and talk with them then.
If you're looking for storage as well, he's your guy.
Storage as well. Very cool. This has been fun. We've really enjoyed it. We have actually, if Sarah will do the honors, we had people who posted their favorite dream car or their favorite classic car, and I cut up all the names, and so I piled them on the seat in that toy car. So Sarah, if you would pick 5 winners, they're going to win tickets to the bull riding PBR at the Enterprise Center and be able to go enjoy that show on February 18th. So Sarah made the face, so pull 4 names. We're going to have 2 tickets for Sarah. By that face, she's like, wait, I want to be part of it.
I'm from Georgia.
So you're going to automatically
I know. I've never
get
been.
2
I wanted to
tickets.
go, and we're going to be out of town. I'm like, what?
Okay,
So
4?
4 tickets
All right.
because 2 of them you just won. All right. So our winners to go to the bull riding is going to be Thomas Puto, a 68 Mustang Fastback was his dream car. Our other winner, and I will be private messaging you all, and then the gentleman who is with PBR and the Enterprise will actually be emailing your tickets to you when I get your information. Melissa Ropp won.
Melissa Ropp.
1960 VW Beetle convertible. That's
your
my
girl.
girl. Yes. Greg Schroeder, a 66 Chevelle convertible.
Beautiful.
Dream car. And our next winner, Barb Harding Gunn, 69 Chevelle.
Chevelles are popular with these guys.
So you and your dream cars are the winners to the PBR, the Professional Bull Riding, which will be February 18th at the Enterprise Center. I will private message the winners, and then the gentleman from actually the PBR will be sending your tickets. So this has been great. Thank you so much for, having us come here and do our first podcast so we could actually learn how to
Make sure we have all the right tools, all the right things.
we need longer cords. I think that's probably the only thing that really is and
Well, I think this device has a 1 hour cutoff.
okay.
So I
They
think
cut
that's
us
what
off.
happened. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So we want to say thank you to St. Louis Car Museum and Sales for having us here. Thank you to Tim Glover with Clip Shack Productions. We've got an amazing video that is going to be in production that will go out to all the podcast sites as well as YouTube. And Maddi Manheimer, she is our beautiful photographer, professional photographer, who is going to be adding the great photos. And so we'll have fun posting this out. And thank you to our great magazines, Clayton, Chesterfield, and St. Charles City Lifestyle. You can go to citylifestyle.com, check out magazines all over the United States. And then, of course, you can check out our great publication. We're really proud of our February. We were actually able to meet and interview Craig Berube, who is the coach of the Blues.
Chief.
Yeah, the chief and his beautiful wife, Dominique Pino. They just got married, so it was perfect to interview and have them in the February issue. And then we couldn't help ourselves. Normally, each cover is different for each magazine, but we took advantage of that and placed them on all 3. How can you not, right?
It's a beautiful photo.
They made us look good. All right. Well, until next month, which I can't remember, will be April. We'll be at Streets of St. Charles doing our podcast there. And then next month is a surprise right now, but we'll let you know.
Surprise.
It's a surprise where we'll be. So, again, thank you very much. Until a next show, we always say peace in your city.